Welcome back to another episode of Utah Sleeper, whatever the name means. Today I'm going to be working on the Tiburon. Just as a little change of gear, and also I feel like that one's going to be a lot quicker to get completed and just start doing other things with it. So the goal is at minimum, empty out the gas tank, replace the fuel pump, and hopefully everything else, which would include spark plugs, timing belt, water pump. I'll figure that out, and if I'm smart, I'll put something right around here saying what I actually did in this video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The car, it should be straightforward, I hope. If not, could be informative. So, thank you for watching. Let's move on to the fuel pump. Okay, figured I'd record a quick little intermission. So, to remove the back seat, it's 2 bolts. With that, there are, let's see if you can actually see it. Yeah, these tabs, there's one up here and one off camera. You push in, and this part comes up. It is like most cars with the fuel pump under the back seat. Only reason I'm recording this is I saw another video that claimed you needed to remove the back part, you know, the seat backs. But there's a gap between here and where the seat backs are. And you can access the bolts that hold the back in place, like this, with just a ratchet, a power drill, you know, whatever. You can access it without removing the seat backs. The only problem I had is the seat belts. I'm guessing this will kind of show up, but their mechanism kind of got caught on the backs here, so it seemed like I couldn't pull it out. I just need to lift it more before pulling it outward. So with that said, let's go back into the vehicle and take a gander. So next up, we're going to at least remove the fuel plate right now. There it is. Again, I did a quick lookup. Theoretically, it's just a kind of pop it up, assuming I don't mangle it. But let's see. It's never been removed, so I'm guessing there's adhesive. Yep, there is. You know, it'd be a little nicer if they put like screws in, but you know, I guess I can't fault them completely. This was their revival, as it were, because their cars were shit prior to 2003, in my opinion. Although I didn't mind the Tiburons of that gen. Come on, you can do it, I think. Oh, there we go. Ew. Not this. This is all kind of standard. There we go. But, you get off me, you giggity. And with that, gives you an idea, let me rest this, of how long the car had been sitting. There's some cobwebs, yada yada, but not a whole lot else. So yeah, you disconnect all 3 of those lines. I'm assuming one's a breather, and then you undo the plug. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be back. And here we are. If I can hold this without shaking, I apologize. So yeah, the line right here was fuel return. This one here, pressure line. This just cycles back into the gas tank. So probably evap related or overfill or something. That was just a bunch of 8mm bolts. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And there's the fuel, you know, fuel pumps in it, yada yada. It's still got some stuff in it. But yeah, straightforward to that point. I'm guessing I will have to dismantle this thing a bit to get to the fuel pump. But I'll probably wait till it fully dries out, and then I'll probably work on it. But next up is going to be me trying to wire up a fuel pump and finding something to store a frickin' full tank of gas. It's the worst time for my sister to frickin' fill up a car and then quit driving it. But whatever. So yeah, we'll be back with the draining process. This is going to be my fuel removal device. AutoBest parts number 12S, whatever. Got all the parts for the car via Rock Auto. This was just under Universal, and I didn't really feel like trying to look for something cheaper. And I think it's like 20-30 bucks, which for a very short usage, I mean, I don't know how many cars I'm going to get that need to have the fuel tank emptied, but whatever. You pay for it when you're lazy. But anyway, so the plan is I've got wiring. I'm going to cut these, or cut that ring off, and just extend the wires to run from there to here, where I am trying to revive this battery. It is about maybe 3 months older than the car had been sitting. So 3, 4, 5 years. And I'm hoping let me kind of go sidetrack, blah, blah, blah. I put my normal charger on it with a trickle to get it accepting any form of charge again, because I first tried to plug it in to, I believe it's called like a desulfurator or whatever. You know, let me just, since I can't not shake, we'll let you look at it this way. Should give you enough. But from what I understand, as you see, the blue light's flashing, which is desulfating, whatever. It's supposed to break up everything that kind of builds up in the battery. I've had okay luck with this thing on like my motorcycle battery and some other batteries, where the battery appeared to be dead, and I got like a couple extra years out of it. So I don't know, if you're interested, check out Amazon. That's where I got it, because I read about it and said, screw it, let's try one. Okay, so with that said, because that's another thing I was going to have to work on here, is I'm going to run wires to here and then just pump everything out of the gas tank. Problem is, I need to see if I can find some more fuel tanks or something to hold it all, since I've got like, I think 4 gallons for tanks, and one of them has crap in it. So yeah, I'll figure something out, because I don't really want to put it into something temporary and then I leave it for too long and it screws shit up. So yeah, we'll be back when I'm pumping the crap out. Here is my official gas removal setup. You can kind of see fuel pump right there. It's in the tank. Gonna spit it out there. Like, hook it up and make sure it doesn't just spray everywhere. You might be able to hear the fuel pump a little bit, but yeah, all appears to be working. I just have the wires running up to the battery that is being desulfurized thingy majigger. Whatever. So yeah, I guess I'll be back after it's empty. Next up, we're going to dismantle this thing and add that, and I'm assuming this if the sock is appropriate. Again, just picked off Rock Auto, hoping all the parts are right. And I believe this thing is like just two, undo that, and there's going to be one on the other side, so they separate. But I'm also going to need to be careful of the wires in there, make sure I don't screw anything up. But I guess let me get to work. Quick little intermission. So I was wrong about how you take it off. Let's see if I can show this properly. And adjust that, yada yada. So, to remove this top part, first there's on each of the lines, one being a return line, one being a feed line, or vice versa. I think that's feed, that's return. There's these little plastic covers that help cinch things down on that. And here, they clip in on two sides. So you undo those tabs and push those kind of out of the way. And then after that, these three things here, you squeeze in and it should come out. And yeah, then it comes out. And as you can tell, I'm struggling with the fuel pump connector. That's just, I've got big hands. And yeah, I'm not the best at that. So we'll be back once I figure out how to get that removed without mangling it too much more. So figure I'd do another little intermission to show the breakdown. Okay, so as you kind of saw, fuel pump was in this thing, held in by these two little things. And with that, for me, I had a problem taking the sock off. If you can tell, I mangled the living crap out of it. But yeah, it's a whole lot of plastic. Not a big fan of that because, 10, 20 years down the road, have to wonder how you'll do the fuel pump. But it was really just a bunch of clamps. You had to, if I remember, remove this, which was via these things on all three sides. Then you had to pull this whole thing out of that, which was three small little, let's bring it into the picture. Right below each of these, you had to kind of pull the bucket out and push in down there to try and start lifting this whole assembly up here. Once this is out, then you have to pull these two out to pull this. Now, if there was no sock on the bottom or something, then I imagine you probably could have pulled this just straight out. But I don't know. It's speculation. But here's the whole breakdown. Let's get back to hopefully assembling. I guess I'll check this real quick first, though, because the box size doesn't seem to match. And I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem for the sock. There we go. Okay, so Rock Auto included this one. This is AirTex. Well, I think that'll work. Well, anyway, let me get back to assembly. And here we are, back assembled. You know, assembly was reverse of the disassembly. That's why I didn't record all of it. That and is a huge pain in my ass. So, it will be frustrating for some of you, but it can be done, even with shaky hands like me. So I'm going to throw all this crap back together and we'll move on to the next thing. And here we are, fuel pump mostly reassembled. I'm going to wait till it comes time to actually try and start the car before buttoning that up. One, because I don't want to take it back apart again. But two, on the back seat, assuming it's leather, but it's reacting weirdly to the leather conditioner. Suck a dick! So, it's all freaking nice and shiny. But I kind of felt like it should have been absorbing the oil or conditioner or whatever. So over the next few days or week, I'm going to just keep applying stuff. Because, yeah, I'll walk back because this is totally not part of what I had planned. When you look here, I have added so much leather conditioner stuff on this. And it did appear to absorb it, but leather's still stiff. So, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But next up is probably going to be taking all the plastics off. Partially because who knows what else I'm going to have to work on under here. I already know tune up, some spark plugs there. Timing belt, and then recently I learned power steering. I'm guessing a return line, because every time we turn the wheel manually from cleaning it and stuff like that, it was a royal pain in the butt, even more than it should have been. But every time we do that and then park it, there'd be a fair amount of liquid under the front. So I'm going to guess return power steering line, but we'll find out. With that said though, I'm going to go through and remove all this stuff. Be right back. And here is years being under all those covers and just building up everything. I'm not quite sure what that is, But, you know, we got some nice little webbage. And you probably can't see it from here. But yeah, it does appear in my power steering return line. Let's see if I can get a view. Maybe not. Anyway, I'm guessing this is probably slightly common because it looks like the return line is right up against the metal AC line or whatever, but yeah, I see moisture on the AC line, more like a transference type, and a lot of liquid underneath it. So I'm gonna have to order a few parts, so I guess my video recording for today will be done. What I will probably do, I'm guessing, is there a PVC valve on this? I'll look it up, and if Newegg says there is, then I will buy PVC valve, power steering return line. I'm not sure what else at this point. And there's probably a lot of things I could do, but I'm not gonna go full bore. Maybe. I guess we'll find out next video. So yeah, here's where it's gonna stay. Next video should be me doing the power steering, or not power steering, the timing belt. And then you start taking things off, figure out how I'm gonna position it from here or there or whatever. Because I'm a slow worker, so I don't want to push in and assume I'll be done that day. With that said, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Any advice, feel free to comment. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.